kind of like a Woolworth cafeteria. You want my first job in the Woolworth cafeteria? Called my first job. Having to walk to work, arriving at this wretched job every single day, felt more like something I was sentenced to by the supreme judge of food courts. What can be lower than a busboy at a Woolworth cafeteria? The greasy gourmet garbage they served at this eatery was less than top-notch. The fries, imprisoned in a mesh basket, would actually escape from view when submerged in the boiling vat of grease. The pre-mixed meatloaf, the house specialty, served with mashed potatoes, all came from an enormous plastic bag, possibly to guarantee freshness, with tiny tags that read ingredients, meatloaf, or mashed potato. The vanilla pudding was used by the chef as a giant ashtray to douse his cigarettes, but he at least had the decency to skim the top off extinguished butts to serve the good stuff underneath. The whole process would probably be rated P for puke by the Phantom Gourmet. The boxes of food were delivered by a 4-foot bearded dwarf named Jesus, and when cut open, the smell would make a maggot yak. But my job was not to criticize the kitchen, but to bust the tables of half-eaten rolls, leftover American chop suey, and inedible desserts which I scraped from plates, tables, seats, and floors to discover the occasional penny left under the discarded tray by some asshole as my tip. But instead reminded me of my worth in this meaningless job. As the time ever slowly ticked by, I anticipated the dreaded lunch hour, when every table would be filled, and a waiting line that spilled over into the pet department, where I spent most of my breaks watching hundreds of goldfish dumped in a half-filled aquarium, gasping for oxygen, and tiny green turtles piled 4 high, with flowers and palm trees painted on their shells, awaiting inevitable doom. As I scraped every half-eaten morsel into a giant aluminum barrel to form a huge swill tapestry, I became physically sick. At least 3 times a day I would leave my push cart of crap parked in the aisle, dart upstairs to the bathroom, and deposit in the toilet exactly when I cleared off the last 10 tables. After dropping 12 pounds in 3 months, I was finally fired for spending too much time in the men's room. I guess a pale, pasty, anorexic-looking busboy wasn't a great selling point for a Woolworth cafeteria.